Afternoon and welcome to the Impact Funding Online Summit 2020. I welcome you all to the masterclass on social media marketing for social purpose organization by Mr. Vernon Fernandes. Mr. Vernon is the co-founder of Team Inertia Technologies, a premier full-service IT solutions firm based in Goa. Over the last 17 years, Sir has worked with large organizations including the Indian Navy, Goa University, and the Goa Institute of Management to help set up various customized IT solutions for them. Over the past decade, his support has been instrumental in setting up successful marketing campaigns for the hospitality, real estate, gaming, and the education sector. He has helped position them strongly on the social media space. Sir has also been working closely with Meraklis and the Impact Funding Online Summit team to create the brand IFOS2020 across all the social media platforms. Today, he will provide in-depth insights in this masterclass about social media marketing for social purpose organizations. Please join me in welcoming our speaker, Vernon Fernandes.
Well, thank you for that short introduction about myself. Well, I've been in this field for the last 17 years. We work with a lot of organizations in the education, healthcare sector. And being based in Goa, like you see around me, Goa gives you the air to ideate, the space to innovate, and the potential to scale. And we've seen that in most of our campaigns and the work that we have done is that we've helped organizations to think, to grow in that direction, and to help establish various kinds of activities out of it. So we're going to have a small kind of a masterclass. This masterclass is primarily focused on how we can use social media marketing. So let's look at our world today. Today our world is now accessible on one device. That one device has brought everything into that small tiny screen. The lockdown has made it even more worse. Okay, today our work is on the mobile. Our children go to school on the mobile. We watch cinema, we watch serials on the mobile. We even, in fact, maintain social distance and socialize also on the mobile. So today, our entire world is converging onto this device. Where is your organization in this? Where are you in this entire scene? Today, the mobile has become a part of our anatomy. Is your organization using this to the best of your abilities? What are you saying online? Are you telling the right story online? What is it that that you bring onto the social media environment, to the various platforms that we have? Are you putting the best foot forward? Yesterday, perhaps Mr. Amin Haq spoke about storytelling, and he spoke about giving the right picture to the right audience. What is your stories? What are you telling the world? Is it effective enough? What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to tell you 3 stories in the form of these 3 videos that you are going to watch now. Okay, take a deep look into each one of them and let's evaluate, let's find out where are you in this particular case. This first video, okay, this is a video from Save the Children.
Happy birthday to you. Make a wish. Granny. Have you done your homework? Adam.
Ready or not? Here it comes.
Arnold clashes with British.
Live ammunition, they can't deserve to get shot.
Airstrikes on rebel position.
We are going to stay.
What's happening? Happy birthday to you. Make a wish, darling.
So this video basically took one second of this little girl's life, moved it from 1 year where she celebrated her birthday to the entire 365 days, and showed us how her life has drastically changed thanks to the various unrests in this particular country. It indeed brings a lot of perspective on one's life. Similarly, in this latest COVID season, a lot of people have migrated from one place to the other. Over the last, I would say, 5 to 6 months, there's been a difference from what the January 1st, 2020 brought in. June 20th, what has happened in our lives. We are almost reaching the 6 months. Is your organization saying something similar to its people? Let's look at another video.
Verfaduri maru fayujire. Tudkone chayo pani rame mari sathere. Nindar ma shamnani lave soga. Chanda puri maru fayujire. Puri maru fayujire. Khima puri maru fayujire. Khat maduru maru fayujire. Verfaduri maru fayujire. Na 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 na.
So this video brought in the joy of sacrifice, the joy of giving, a very different take from the previous video. But it actually illustrates that the joy of actually doing something not for yourself or for somebody else is much bigger than your self-interests. That's each one of you NGOs are actually doing, trying to make the world a much better. Let's look at one more video now.
No one, no man, no woman, no child should ever have to drink green water, bugs with algae with disease in it. Bad water and a lack of toilets kills more people than all the wars in the world. We know how to bring clean water right now to every single person on earth. And when you can bring water into communities, it truly transforms them. It changes everything. You can know that you made a difference. You know that you had truly impacted the life of a family, of a community, there was either clean water or there wasn't. We believe in a world where every single person has clean and safe water to drink, and we will continue fighting until that happens.
So charity water brought joy, brought happiness to people across the world, especially in third world countries in Africa, in South Asia, and have basically said two things. There's either bad water, there's good water. Good water brings happiness. We're also going to dwell on charity water a little later. But if you see the three videos, what did it try to do? And how did it engage us? So this brings us to what social media marketing is all about. What does it do? It helps you to tell your story, to tell the world what exactly you are trying to do, what are you trying to achieve, what is your mission, what is your vision, and how do you very eloquently say it online. It helps build awareness for your cause. Understanding and getting the world to understand what drives your NGO, what drives your organization, what drives your enterprise, what is that you're trying to solve, and getting the world to know the reason behind your drive is needed to be articulated on social media. And that's what these kind of campaigns do. Gain empathy and support for your work. If you tell the world what you've done, if you see charity water, they brought clean drinking water to people who actually had to walk almost 4-5 kilometers in search of clean water, which is now available 5 minutes away. And telling the world that they have done that has also helped them to gain access to more funds to improve this sphere, to improve their presence across the world. Hence, they've helped raise funds with the right communication. Telling the world and telling them correctly, accurately, and in the most presentable fashion is very important. Yeah. So, charity water is one of those NGOs, those organizations that have done well for themselves. This is an example of one of the contests that they had, is that whenever somebody donated, you could become a part of the fundraising activity. On their 10th anniversary, this is something that they did. They actually celebrated what they have done across the last 10 years. So every year in the month of September, they speak about the amount of money that they raised. For example, in Kenya, they raised $35,000 in the year 2007. In Ethiopia, in 2008. In 2009, they helped more than 1 lakh of people. They raised almost $1.2 million and served a lot of people in that particular region. 2010, 2011, in a very beautiful fashion, told the world what exactly that they have done in a nice, swell way. So if I have to actually look at charity water and their campaign primarily would have done something like this. So what have they done right? One thing is, since 2006, they have raised almost $370 million. Okay, that's a huge amount that they have actually done. How have they done that? By branding, by actually branding, like I use the word branding like Beckham, branding it in such a way that people take notice, people give it value, and then they've got a very corporate nature to the whole aspect that branding brings money, and that's what they've tried to do. Their designs are neat, swell, clean, very simple, but most importantly, they have a story that's compelling. A compelling story really gets people's attention. And that's something that we will need to emphasize again and again, that compelling storytelling helps you get the right audience, appeals to the right audience. A lot of times we underestimate who our audience is. Okay, Charity Water has found the right audience, and that's how they have actually got the $370 million. They haven't stuck to one space. They are on social, on all the possible platforms. They are on television, they are on the ground, they have events happening. They have basically tried to check each and every channel available. They use a lot of online fundraising efforts. Simple things. If it's your birthday, you could actually donate something to Charity Water. That goes a long way to somebody based in Africa or in Asia. And they've done this constantly. Another very good example of how online campaigns work, and this is something that has happened a couple of years back. You had the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. And this challenge had anybody and everybody dumping ice on themselves. Now, that part of it everybody knows, but it also has helped get a lot of money for the ALS efforts, the ALS disease, and getting a lot of attention to this particular problem and finding solutions to it. So that's another thing. By perhaps gamification of various efforts, making it a viral effort, and more people get to know the ALS. Perhaps earlier we never knew what ALS is. Now we do. Okay. Another example. Okay. Technology is very important when it comes to social media, and it plays a very large role. I'm going to take an example of Pencils of Promise. Now, so they basically help build school buildings across the world. So they help to raise 1.9 million with the help of this one video that I'm actually going to show you. Okay, what they basically did. Let me just open up the video for you. So this video looks like a normal video. It's on YouTube.
The opportunity to experience
the difference of this video is that
so today,
you can actually
we offer you a glimpse.
Go inside the school.
In many parts
you
of
can
the world,
actually
children
move
attend school in environments
and see
entirely
the school.
unfit for learning. Like here,
see the state
in
of the
Togo,
school.
Ghana. Are forced outside under mango trees.
Sounds and feels very similar to our country at times. Look at the state of how they live.
In a vast majority of these communities, the safest and most reliable building is a pop school.
This is what Pencils of Promise has done. They've actually built school buildings.
Can transform the life of a child, a family, and a community. A new school is only the beginning. Welcome to Pencils of Promise.
So this virtual reality experience, this one video investment has almost got them $2 million for their efforts. A little bit of technology has gone a large way for a lot of children based out of Africa. So where do we begin? Okay, so we're going to take this master class and we're going to actually go slide by slide and understand and basically make sense of the big wide world of social media. So where does it begin? Where do we begin? It actually begins by setting your goals. What do you want to achieve? Define your objectives and identify your challenges. What is ailing your organization? How can you change that? You cannot actually say, okay, I want to gain 100 crores within a year. Okay, it may be possible, it may not be possible, but setting definite goals, definite objectives, and then finding out the means by which how you can achieve them is very important. What can you achieve on social media from your objectives? Not everything is possible online, but a lot of it can be influenced by social media. So what do you want social media to achieve for you? We need to set achievable goals. That's the first thing that we need to do, set up achievable goals for your social media campaigns. Now, people's decision to donate are heavily swayed by how an organization engages with them online. Finding the right audience is very important. There are times that we say that the youth are not at all responsive into donations. But in recent times, we've seen that the millennials are the ones that are actually driving a lot of fundraising in recent efforts. Be it in simple things like, okay, participating in a marathon, participating in a hackathon, participating in events that actually raise a lot of funds. So therefore, finding the right audience is very important. The audience for an NGO that's based in the health sector is very different from one which is present in an education sector. So therefore, finding the right audience is very important. There are lots of stats available. You could look at Google Trends. You could actually there are a lot of social media tools that can actually help you to look into the kind of audience that you can actually target. Most important is telling the right story. Storytelling has always been and one of the most ancient but nevertheless potent marketing tool. You can actually take your audiences on an emotional, thought-provoking journey through vivid images and powerful words. And like, for example, this picture of a child writing its first number is a huge challenge for a lot of underprivileged children. And perhaps this NGO has achieved this particular thing. So therefore, telling the right story is very, very important. So some of the benefits of actually telling the right story and having an organic social media marketing. One is your donations would increase because you are telling the world your stories, telling your information out of there. People and supporters start investing in you. It's no longer just a one-time donation. They become your ambassadors. Okay, and they actually help you out more often whenever you appeal to them. It's economical and highly effective if it's viral. If we take an example of the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, it has actually touched people across the world. It's not something that originated in India, but you had a lot of people dumping ice on themselves just to prove that to join the viral fad of it. But more importantly, that ALS got its due share of attention. It's also a two-way communication that helps create effective campaigns. People talk to you, people give you feedback, people give you suggestions, people give you ideas how you can actually even become better. So therefore, this where it's sent to somebody, and if they write a letter to the editor or they call you up, it's very unlikely that they do something like that. But here on social media, a tweet, a repost, a comment is an instant thing. that people can actually give you information and feedback eventually. So how do we build a good social media campaign? What I'm going to do right now is we're going to actually just going to look into the various aspects, the various platforms that are important for any social media campaigns or any digital media campaigns. And everything begins with the right website. Your website needs to be your talking point, your focal point, your foundation. A responsive, intuitive website with effective storytelling sets the foundation for the best way to garner support from across the internet. It should work well on all devices, especially the mobile, because today the mobile is kind of the first device that we get up in the morning with and we refer to. So therefore your website really needs to look nice on the mobile. It should allow you interactions. People can get in touch with you. People can perhaps submit information to you. People can even donate online. Okay. A lot of organizations, if they have the requisite permissions, can do things like monthly donations, could look at donating certain goods and paying for it. So your website tells the right story, shows people the progress that you've done, the lives that you have touched, and that begins with your website. You then have Facebook. Okay, Facebook is perhaps one of the biggest, sometimes one of the largest countries of the world. It has more than 2 billion users. It's a mixed audience with people of different age groups. So it's not just middle-aged people, you have young people, you have elderly people, people perhaps have retired and can be of assistance to you. They need to be informed about your efforts. They need to be told, okay, this is what we're doing, and this is the people that you're actually trying. Now, again, each platform has its own charm and its own way to work with. So for example, for Facebook, we recommend that you actually post maybe twice or maybe approximately about 5 times in a week, so that people stay in touch with you. Understand that Facebook also has its own algorithms, and it's important for you to grow organically. And in order to grow organically, you need to post regularly. Otherwise, you may have to spend some amounts of monies to actually get the right audience, which we will talk about a little later. YouTube is the next biggest format because that helps you to tell your stories in a right way. It has a slightly younger age group, so it's people that you want to attack from 18 to 49. They are on YouTube more often than not, simply because perhaps today we are not reading that much, but we're actually viewing that much. It actually allows us to tell better stories. So therefore, YouTube is a space that you need to actually look at. Again, people are not looking at large videos as such. Anything between 5 minutes to 20 minutes long is a decent amount of attention span, okay, to actually tell people your stories. But more importantly, you name your videos well, so that even if somebody searches for something in your industry, in your vertical, in your sector, your videos turn up on their results. So that's about YouTube. Come to Instagram. Instagram is more younger, more vibrant. It's a great showcase area for all your photos that you have. Predominantly, the age group is under 35 to 40 odd. It's a very young age group. So if your NGO deals with children or deals with donors that are younger, Instagram is one space that you have to be at. The thing about Instagram is that you need to keep things simple, keep them short, keep them snappy, and you need to post daily. Okay, because that's the only way people are going to actually stand up and take notice of yourself. So that's very important that you actually do that particular bit. Twitter is another space that you actually have to be in. A diverse audience from every age is available out over there. Mostly used by people between 25 to 34. So it's a space where it's a little bit more intellectual than before, especially in India. We suggest that you use this platform for since we initially were broken down into just 160 characters, it's increased now. Therefore, messages in a very simple fashion. You're also allowed videos, you're also allowed small snippets of imaging. But again, like we said, that this space is for announcements. You will notice a lot of the press notes now are first tweeted and then you actually get the physical copies. That's because Twitter is being that particular platform for that. Hashtags. Now, hashtags is something that ideas together. They help you converge and connect ideas together and helps bring traffic of like-minded donors to your causes quickly. We've seen that in the past. It's like, for example, today we have COVID-19, the hashtag being so widespread used. You have people talking about mental health in recent days. And everybody wants to use hashtags to actually link things together. Like I said, it helps link all posts across platforms into one common idea, one common campaign. So therefore, having specific hashtags, especially for things that you're doing, is also very important, because it is also the hashtag is the first touch point for your story. For example, right now we are at IFOS2020. It's that story that we've actually tried to convey across all platforms, and that hashtag binds everything together. If you build your website, people need to find your website. So search engine optimization is more of a longer term effort that you need to do. NGOs don't come overnight and don't go away overnight. There is a lot of effort that every one of you all put in to ensure that your mission vision is actually sorted. So therefore, whenever you build your website, ensure that you have the keywords in place, so that if somebody searches for your kind of content or searches for your industry or your sector, your website needs to come up at least on the first few pages. Blogging is integral to all your work. So if you have that story, let that story be documented on your website. Let all your stories be in one space, and that needs to be on your own website, preferably, okay, rather than any other domain. So therefore, tell your stories in a blog fashion, share the photographs, share the videos. For local SEO is also very important. If somebody searches within your particular region, your particular locality, okay, if you need, let's say for example, if people are searching to donate some money or donate to a particular effort, you need to be present out over there. So therefore, local SEO is very, very important. So presence in local directories, presence on Google My Business, having it completed, the profiles are completed, looking at things like perhaps Just Dial out over there. Now there may be commercial platforms, but also very, very important for social organizations. Paid marketing. Paid marketing basically helps you to set the ball rolling for the right traffic on your campaigns. Now, some organizations get a lot of funding at the very first instance. They have a plan, they have an idea, they have a business plan, and part of it is also, let's say, you find that right sponsor. But the first thing that you need to do is actually build awareness about your platform, about your organization. So paid efforts is very important at when you launch your campaigns or you launch your organization, so that you bring in traffic to your website. One benefit of paid marketing is that you can actually hit the right audience, okay, by the help of understanding the demographics, what they're interested in, and whether your organization, your campaign, your work focused on these kind of audiences, or these audiences are the ones that can help you grow or help you help others. That is the benefit of paid marketing. So therefore, campaigns can be based on traffic, getting people to your website, reaching to a lot of more people, or simply just putting your brand out there, putting your organization, its efforts, its story out. You need to use paid marketing at some point of time. Paid marketing spans across Google, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. If you are trying to target, let's say, CSR activities, then you could also look at LinkedIn and speak out and reach out to corporates on that particular platform, and perhaps get them to actually review your and that could be a very good space for you. Okay, email marketing is something that you actually really need to concentrate. Cost effective channel that we have. It helps when you build the right database. Now you do get databases out there, people selling it for some amounts of money, but understand that these email databases are not necessarily the right way to go. If you are actually let's say running a lot of campaigns, or you're meeting a lot of people across the offline world or online, it is always advisable that you take some amount of information on them, be it their email addresses or their telephone numbers, because you actually reach out to them either through an email campaign, email marketing campaign, or an SMS campaign, or in recent times you also have WhatsApp campaigns. So therefore, it's very important to actually get this kind of database. It's also very important that you actually use the right vocabulary, okay, as well as using the right tone when you actually putting out these email IDs. We do not need to feel pushy. We should not be pushing ourselves for someone to actually give us money. If you tell the right story in the email, the money will automatically come in. So therefore, ensure that you use the right tone and the right vocabulary. Pick your words wisely. Bring rhythm, rhyme, and everything so that you can move the recipients. Okay, words do a lot of talking, images do much more, but if a blend of both will help you get more supporters to your efforts. Okay, so look at email marketing as an important and integral part of everything that you do. And like I said, it's cost effective and it can actually help you better. So storytelling is an effort that we need to see. So how do we talk about our stories? What is the kind of content that works? Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is we're going to actually just talk about some aspects that we have. So content that drives success to campaign. So what do we talk about? The first thing that we've actually talked about are images. And in the last 2-3 months, we've seen a lot of images that actually have got us in an emotional space. We know that there are a lot of NGOs that are actually going to be driven to help these these migrated people, the various kinds of efforts that are happening. So the imagery is very, very important, and therefore investing into photography, learning what works, what does not work is very important. Similarly, it's videos. Today, internet in India is improving every day. Videos are consumed like never before. Never did we even expect YouTube being the second largest website in India. The amount of content that's been consumed is insane. So videos is very, very important to tell your stories. So therefore, again, document your work, document that whatever you do. The example that I gave at the very initial part, save the children. A documentation of 1 second of each one's life into 365 seconds tells a very huge story. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a year's worth of effort, but it actually can actually tell you the story. So invest in videos, and so both are interlinked. Photography and videography go hand in hand. Numbers are important. Facts and figures of your sector. We know that in this particular last 3 months, a lot of funds have increased towards health sector, towards people to migrate back home. These numbers are very important that you actually put out over there. So that updating people on your projects. It may be you may be building a school. You may be helping people, helping malnourished children. You may be helping. You may be that new gadget that will actually help a lot of people. Project updates are very important that help you garner more success. Talk about your people, talk about your staff. Okay, they are your heroes. We've seen in the recent past a lot of people stood up and folded their sleeves and got back people to perhaps help food, help them with transport, or just gave a shoulder to vent their feelings. But they are your superstars, and people want to relate to them. Your events and your coverage is also very media. Maybe you could create a day where we need to maintain distance among ourselves. A lot of new innovative ways of people connecting with each other towards causes has actually been seen, and that needs to actually be brought up by your social media campaigns. Shared and original content. A lot of times there's a lot of activity that's happening in your domain, and it may not necessarily be something that you have done, but it is something that's important and it's paramount that people know about it. So therefore it's also advisable that you find this kind of content and then share the same with your followers. Okay, so that your domain or the efforts within your domain are also covered more strongly. Okay, so this is something that you really need to invest into. We've seen the Ice Bucket Challenge do it very successfully, where people are actually are encouraged to, okay, hey, let us do something like that. Another thing that is engage is one of the new platforms that we have is TikTok, which is supposed to be 2020's latest fad, and the way people actually participate, if you can find a means by which you can actually get people to take notice of your work in some very innovative way on TikTok, people will start engaging with you. Call to action is very important. It's pointless that you're actually telling people to engage, but what are your why are you engaged? Get to the point whereby they actually perhaps come to your website, send you that Google Pay amount, donate some amount of money. Okay, so therefore all your efforts, whatever you do, needs to converge to your call to action. Let there not be any communication out there that doesn't tell one what to do, and that's the key driving factor that you need to look at. So I'm going to leave you all and summarize this into three aspects. It's actually the three C's that I want you to look at. Okay. The first thing is connect. Okay. So you need to connect to your audience. You need to know which platform they're using. You need to know, listen to them, okay, and gain wonderful insights from them. This will also help you to connect with them and what to do next. And connecting all of them to is also very important, and building that community, okay, which you can actually reach out to at any moment of time. Therefore, connect with everybody. The second C that I'd like you to look at, convey the right stories. Okay, convey the stories that excite people, that help people emote, that help people gain empathy for you. Convey your vision and mission appropriately. Convey your successes. Convey your failures as well, because your failures is basically the stepping stones of someone else's success. So convey this correctly. And the last C, a lot of our efforts cannot be. We need to perhaps raise funds. So we need somebody else's efforts. Okay, we need partnerships that can actually help us achieve our mission. We need to also collaborate with technology. There are new technology that is coming in, and if you decide to stay back and okay, let them use the technology, and I wouldn't, it is not going to help yourself. So collaborate not just with people, collaborate with various kinds of technologies. Collaboration of technologies also help you get audiences from across the world by using certain social media tools. So keep in mind that these three C's are very important for your organization to be successful on this journey of social media. Okay, I'm going to leave you all with this particular video that we'll actually look at, and this is something that is, I would say, a wonderful way to talk about one's mission and vision. This is from UNICEF. Okay, and take a look at this.
Look closely. Really closely. Deep into the eyes of a child. See their hope. And ours too. Whoever she is, wherever he lives, every child deserves a childhood. That's why UNICEF is there for each and every child. Working day in, day out in 190 countries and territories, reaching the hardest to reach, the furthest from help. It's why we stay to the end and never give up. Will you stand with us?
Stand with us. Stand with us. Stand with us.
For every child.
So yeah, thank you very much. I hope I have been of some help to yourselves. In case you guys need to connect to me, you can always visit me on my website at teaminertia.com or write to me at vernon@teaminertia.com, and I would gladly answer your queries and whatever questions that you have. So once again, thank you very much, and I'd like to thank Meraklis for this wonderful opportunity to perhaps being of some help to these NGOs out there, and the new organizations that are getting into this space.
Thank you, sir, for taking out your time and sharing your valuable insights with us. I'm sure we've all learned a great deal about the social media marketing tools and techniques that social purpose organizations need to be able to create the impact that they're all aspiring for. Thank you.